I push the window open and I come out through it, and it's like I'm on, I don't know, it feels like I'm not on the roof of the building when I come out of this window. It's more like I'm on a hill, maybe a pile of rubble. Like, I remember looking around and I see buildings off in the distance. I see tall buildings off in the distance, kind of foggy around the roads, but otherwise I'm surrounded by either hills or like mounds of fallen buildings or rubble or something, because it's all grayish brown, kind of just a mess. Just really desolate, bleak. And the sky is like totally gray, except for like this big glowing orange area, like right in the middle. It's not directly above me, but it's like sort of offset. Just looking up at the sky, and the clouds are all gray except for this one area that's a little bit offset, not directly above me, but just kind of off. It's glowing orange, which is weird because it's not like sunlight, it's like orange, like, because sunlight through like gray clouds is just, you know, like white. But this is just, it's like bigger than the sun. It's like weird. And I'm looking and looking really closely, and I'm seeing people, like humanoid figures, kind of like standing in a circle in the sky. It sounds weird, but like they need to be standing. You have to have a surface to be standing on, but it's like they're in a standing position but just hovering. I can't see them close enough. It's like they're way, way, way up high in the sky, and they're just kind of hovering in a circle in this orangish, yellowish, glowing spot in the sky. They're just hovering. And I'm looking, and I remember in the dream thinking, are those people in the sky, just floating in the sky? And it looked really weird. They're just in a circle, and I'm watching them, and they're just hovering, like in a circle, very slowly, and then they speed up a little, more and more. So I'm watching this orange light, and there's people just doing like this, and then they're going faster and faster, and as I'm watching them spin, this trumpet, brass instrument, something or other blast just shakes everything. Like, if you've been in marching band, which I have, imagine the entire brass section playing the lowest note as loudly and just as loudly as possible. This incredibly deep, really low, blaring trumpet type sound. And it just gave me shivers in the dream. It gives me shivers to think about it. It's just like almost like a siren, but coming from the sky. And it just shook everything, shook me. I felt the ground trembling beneath my feet. It was so loud. So this trumpet blast goes, and as the trumpet blast is still going, this orange, like, glow in the sky just bursts open like an upside down volcano, and what looks like fire just kind of spirals out of it straight towards the ground. And it's weird because it's like a giant fiery tornado, but like, think of the thickest tornado you could ever possibly imagine, and imagine it coming from not just the sky, but so high up that it's coming from space, through the clouds in the sky, through Earth's atmosphere, and hitting the ground with just crazy impact. And as I'm watching this spiraling fire, I'm noticing that like the flames are breaking up and like becoming these little separate just tongues of fire. I say tongues not because they look like tongues, but just as a description. I don't know why I said that. The fire's just breaking up into these separate little flame balls, and separating clear all over the ground and down the road. There's Nat, towards the buildings I talked about. I don't see one coming towards me, but suddenly I realize my feet aren't touching the ground anymore, and I'm starting to lift up, and I see people that weren't even in the area getting lifted up from a distance. And people are screaming. Like, I hear people screaming as they're getting lifted up, like they're scared, they have no idea what's going on. But me, in the dream, I remember specifically thinking, already, God? It's time to go already? Well, I mean, I guess I can't complain. And that's what I remember, and I felt myself getting carried away. Like, I didn't see anything pick me up or anything. I just lifted off the ground. I'm soaring higher and higher, closer to the top of this spiraling beam of fire. Like, it's still there, but like the flames are breaking up more and more and picking people up. And I'm coming towards the sky, towards the center of this spiraling, orange, glowing, like, donut hole of, like, heavenliness. And I just remember people all around me, like, cheering, screaming, like, fearfully screaming, and, like, voices. And then, like, the closer I got to the sky, the more I started to come to consciousness, and I woke up. And, I just woke up and sighed, and I was like, I think I just had a rapture dream. Like, the dreams that have come before this have all been about the end of the world and people dying, but finally, I had a rapture dream. And the weird thing is, I had never imagined it like that. Never, ever. I had been reading the Left Behind books. I'm done with the series now. It's an excellent series, but I wouldn't suggest it to be like, if you studied the end of the world, I wouldn't suggest you use, like, the books as, like, a basis for your studies or whatever, because, I mean, it's fiction, it's a work of fiction based on a lot of end-of-the-world studies that these authors have done, and it's cool to just take what they have in mind and picture that and whatnot, but like, just from, like, Left Behind books and what everybody else talks about, it's like, when the rapture happens, you just disappear, and that's that. But I never really imagined what it's going to be like for me, like the people that are raptured. You're not going to see yourself disappear and then be sitting on Earth wondering where you went. That's what everyone else is going to be doing. You're going, I don't know what's going to happen to you, but that was what was so interesting, because I hadn't thought of it like that. And I looked up verses about the rapture, because by this time I've read the Bible all the way through, but I haven't, like, studied it. Just read it. I mean, I've studied it since then, but I mean, I haven't gone straight through all over again. So, like, I'm sure I had come by various rapture-related scripture and just didn't realize it. But I looked it up, and I found Matthew 24:31. I'm not going to try to quote it because I'll probably massacre it, but what I remember is there's a trumpet blast, and the angels are sent from the four winds, or something like that, from the four corners, four winds, something like that. I don't know. I don't have a Bible on me right now. I mean, there's one in there, but I don't want to go get it. But the point is, it mentions the trumpet blast, angels, and us getting carried away. So it's like, I had never, ever, ever thought of it like that. Because as far as I was concerned, we were going to be caught up to the sky to meet Jesus. But I didn't think of it like the angels were going to come down and pick us up and take us to Jesus. Which, I could totally believe that. And that's what I feel like my dream was. It was like the spiraling beam of fire was like an entire legion of angels sent at the sound of a trumpet blast to take the saints off the planet. And because, like, the flames broke up and I just saw lights, like little flaming, like little balls of fire carrying people away. So it's like, that's my best explanation for it, is like those were probably angels, as well as like the little, like, humanoid figures in the sky hovering in a circle, like just kind of waiting to unleash the angel army or something like that. I really don't know. I'm just getting carried away. But yeah, that's the dream itself.